MUFON are back this year with another symposium and promising, well, to be even better than 2024, as they have revealed Materials 2.0, which apparently is more UAP materials that they are going to be disclosing to the rest of the world that they've had hold of and they've been researching on. This is pretty big. So the announcement came about 2 days ago, right, from the Mutual UFO Network, otherwise known as MUFON, right over on their YouTube channel when they announced it with this little teaser trailer to get the, the taste buds going.
Hi everybody, my name is Bob Spearing. I am MUFON's Director of International Investigations. I'd like to invite you to join us July 19th, a Saturday night, in Cincinnati, Ohio at our MUFON Symposium for a very special event, Unknown Materials 2.0. In 2023, MUFON received a mysterious Russian sample, possibly craft debris. Extensive testing was done on it at the time, but over the course of this past year, MUFON has done more extensive testing of the material, and what we've discovered is quite astonishing. We will also have on hand a witness who actually saw debris fall from a UFO, and this material has been tested by the NSA, has been in the hands of Gary Nolan, Lou Elizondo, and others, and we have that witness and that material. So if you really want to see something interesting and want to be part of the disclosure movement, I thoroughly hope that you can join us. For tickets, go to mufonsymposium.com, and if you can't be there in person, by our live stream, mufonsymposium.com/live-stream. Hope to see you there in person or virtually.
Now, this is a pretty big deal, right? Because MUFON, of course, got their hands on some UAP material allegedly back in 2023. Back in 2024, they held, their biannual symposium, which is, it was quite extraordinary for the reasons listed above, right? Because they had their hands on this material. Now, it also featured some prominent speakers, including UFO researchers, experiencers, and whistleblowers, addressing topics like the UAP disclosure, government transparency, and also the scientific analysis of physical evidence like this UAP material. And it was held like this year, both in person and via a live stream, with the live stream ticket priced at $99. Which also included a year's subscription to MUFON TV. And the event included presentations, panel discussions, and networking opportunities for attendees to focus on modern investigative approaches to the UAP topic. Now, obviously, the materials was kind of the key highlight to the MUFON Symposium for 2024. And they announced the analysis of the material allegedly recovered from a crashed UAP in Russia, referred to as, quote, materials unknown. The initial testing was conducted by Russian labs, followed by an analysis of a US lab, who hasn't been disclosed. An X-ray fluorescence testing identified approximately 10% of the material's composition, including elements like bromine, calcium, titanium, iron, and copper. The remaining 90% was described as an unidentifiable organometallic substance, suggesting unknown origin, possibly due to its unique isotopic ratios or molecular structures. Now, MUFON, back in 2024, claimed that these findings were quite significant, with some calling it potentially the biggest UFO-related news of the year. Bear in mind, a lot happened last year with regards to the UAP topic, right? But now the likes of Gary Nolan, Lou Elizondo, and the NSA are also involved in the analysis of this material. And that's where we develop over to 2025's symposium. So the material is the exact same, allegedly, but apparently they've done, over the course of the past year, a lot more research into this. And that's kind of their key selling point once again, to try and get people intrigued to get involved with the 2025 symposium. So we don't really know a lot of details thus far, but it's obviously themed around the UFO research, and top UFO researchers, experiencers, and whistleblowers will also be there, both in person and via live stream, making it accessible globally. And obviously the big selling point, the USP for this one, is the fact that they are going to be releasing more information with regards to this Russian UFO material that they've got their hands on and have been testing. And it's due to take place on July 19th, which I believe, like they said, was a Saturday. What time? I don't 100% know just yet, but over on the MUFON live stream website, right, you can kind of get tickets to purchase your access to the MUFON International's 2025 Symposium live stream presentation. So the small cost of $99, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, that's not a low amount of money. You do get a year subscription to MUFON television, but obviously, this is one of the biggest things. Now, if you go to speakers, obviously there's a lot of 2025 keynote speakers, for example, and there's a long list of names of people who are part of the disclosure part of the MUFON movement, right? Now, with regards to this, the last symposium was held in Irving, Texas, and it also focused on, obviously, quite heavily on the Russian case. There was a lot of skepticism surrounding it. Some online discussions, particularly on platforms like Reddit, questioned MUFON's credibility, citing concerns about them handling evidence. For example, mailing sensitive materials and their business model, which includes charging for access to reports. Critics argue that MUFON's claims lack transparency, such as specifying which labs the US have conducted and which tests, providing peer-reviewed data. So this is kind of the idea of people, kind of critiquing it. There's always going to be critics to this kind of thing because, especially when you kind of keep people in the lurch a little bit by not disclosing the names of the labs, or just kind of, there was this whole thing about just mailing the UFO materials just via the post, which obviously with that kind of material, you'd think that greater care would be kind of invested into it. It would be hand delivered by one person to another. It would be, literally cellophaned and bubble wrap and kept so under lock and key, but it was just delivered via, I don't know, it's like sending UFO materials to someone via the Royal Mail in the UK. First of all, I wouldn't even guarantee it would probably get there on time, and secondly, it's you just can't guarantee these things. It getting lost in the mailroom, for example. Like, this is literal alleged UAP material, and you're just willing to just give it to some Tom, Dick, or Harry via UPS to just deliver. Wild. But yeah, obviously that's the critique kind of side of things and how people kind of like, what is going on. Last year, the materials caused quite the stir. A lot of people were talking about it. It kind of went really quiet for a period of time, and then it reignited because the likes of, I can't remember who were the speakers last year, but I'm pretty sure Gary Nolan was a big speaker part of it. I think David Grush might also be involved in this somewhere in some capacity. Obviously, they've got Lou Elizondo involved now as well. Lou Elizondo is, everywhere right now. He's literally everywhere when it comes to UFO topics. Like, it's interesting. Will you guys be tuning into it? Are you intrigued to hear about the new revelations regarding this UFO material 2.0? Is it just going to be more of the same? Obviously, they've hyped some new developments, so let's hope that there is something to it, but let's see. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. While you're down there, jump to get the hell out of that like button and subscribing. Until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.